Hi, my name is Sarah Hocking and welcome to Blind Intuition. Blind Intuition is about my road to independence as a first-time mother after becoming legally blind. I don't want to be defined as legally blind because I am much more than that. I'm a mother and a wife, a teacher. I enjoy cooking and I'm creative and enjoy technology, and I want to share all that with you as well along the way, and am looking forward to interacting with all of you along this journey. So how did I become legally blind? I first started to notice my vision deteriorate a little bit in my last few weeks of teaching before I went on maternity leave. I was teaching a Prep 1 class at the time, and I started to notice a few things, like it was really hard for me to read my writing on the whiteboard. I had to go up really close to it. The kids were picking things up when I was reading to them, and I really had to squint at the computer. So I didn't really think too much of it because I put it down to being 36 weeks pregnant and just being really tired. I have had a stroke in the past, and one of the side effects I do get from that is when I'm tired, my vision goes a little bit. So yeah, I didn't really think too much of it. So I went on maternity leave, and about a week into it, it was deteriorating dramatically. I lost my confidence to drive, and yeah, I started to really panic. On the 11th of July, I was watching the news and I couldn't see the newsreader's features very well on her face, and I knew that something was wrong. I was getting quite upset and panicky, and yeah, in the finish, my husband Cameron told me, look, let's get you to the hospital, we'll get monitored, and you can't muck around with this anymore. So we went in and put Bubs on the monitor, and everything was okay with him. Yeah, and then I got sent for a CT scan at midnight. Got woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning to be told that we'll be in for a very rough ride, where I have 3 clots in my brain. Because I had the stroke in the past, I'm like, okay, I haven't had a stroke yet. They can thin the blood clots out. We can deliver our little boy, and we'll be okay. So they sent us from Bendigo Health down to the Mercy to deliver our little boy Archer straight away, and yeah, we were in there for 9 days. And pretty much straight after the birth, the neurologist came and told us that these so-called clots weren't clots, they're actually meningiomas. So meningiomas are a benign tumour, and normally they sit in the brain and lay dormant. They don't do anything. They are very, very slow growing, and take years to develop. So but in my case, because they were growing in and around the optic nerve, it was putting pressure on it, which was deteriorating my vision. So we got told that I would have to go in for brain surgery. It was a really scary time. You don't think at 28 years old that you would have the conversation with your mum and your husband about the vegetative state. All that was going through my head. They assured me that I'd be in safe hands, but I think when it comes to your brain, it is really scary and hard to get your head around. So I went into brain surgery when our son was 9 days old. It was a 7.5 hour long surgery. It was complex. The tumour was a little bit more aggressive than what they first thought from the MRI. So the So they did the best they could to remove as much as they could to decompress the nerve. Yeah, so I woke up from surgery legally blind. So we have been told recently from the post-op MRI that all of one tumour has been removed. On the right side of the optic nerve. On the left side, all of the tumour has been removed from around it. It just couldn't be removed from inside the optic nerve canal on the left side, as if they opened that up, they would have caused more problems, like meningitis and possibly death from that if that had happened. So they decided not to touch that, which is fine by me. It was a grade 1 tumour, so that's the best of all 3 types that you can get. So there's about a 4% chance of it growing back within the next 5 years, and then it diminishes after that. So we do have the best prognosis there. So my vision, when I got out of surgery, my left eye was completely black. I couldn't detect light. I couldn't see a thing. My right eye, I could see a little bit. I could see shadows of people, but I couldn't see what they were wearing or what they looked like. Everything was grayscale and distorted. So yeah, it was a real shock waking up to that. And yeah, I just can't describe my feelings. There was so many feelings. They talk about the 5 stages of grief. I think, yeah, we definitely went through that. Yeah, there's a whole heap of emotions that I had never felt before. So, yeah, that was really hard. Now that the swelling's gone down, at 6 months later, and the swelling's completely gone, the vision has improved there. So out my left eye, it's much like my right eye was after the surgery. So I can detect light, I can see the shape of the TV and detect light through it and see movement, but I can't tell what the picture is. If I'm outside where it's best, out the windscreen window, I can see shadows of trees as we go past them. It's very grayscale and very dark. I do run into a lot of things on my left side because I don't have that peripheral vision. It's tunnel vision at the moment. My right eye is very, very functional, so I can see quite, still classed as legally blind, but I can see like around the house and obstacles, and I can see boundaries. And yeah, it's the best way I can describe it is like looking through a dark pair of sunglasses at dawn, and yeah, it's just a bit dark and distorted. I can't see detail, so I wouldn't be able to tell if someone has makeup on. I struggle with contrast, so if Archer has a royal blue and white jumpsuit, I'd be able to pick the colours out and see that really well and see the pictures on it. But if he had a white and pastel jumpsuit, I wouldn't be able to make it out. It would just look white. So yeah, that's something I struggle with. Getting out and about, I can see boundaries and everything, so I'm quite fine with that. I can see cars coming, but not from as far as what a fully sighted person can see. Yeah, so it is difficult. I guess out and about, probably the only thing I really struggle with is walking downstairs without a rail. If the stairs aren't aligned with that yellow safety strip, the stairs will look like a flat surface instead of steps. Going up them's fine because you get the shadow, but yeah, going down it just all looks flat. So yeah, I do ask for an arm if the stairs are like that, if they don't have a rail. It's not too often I come across them. So yeah, that's the only thing I really struggle with. Going shopping is hard because it's hard for me to see things on shelves. To begin with, in the supermarket, I couldn't see a thing. The shelves just look like black and white strips. But now I can see products on the shelf, but I have to pretty much get my nose up to them to see what they are. And I use my sense of touch a lot as well, so I just know what shapes containers are for, like, my favourite yogurt and things like that. So yeah, it's getting easier. I can see colours on labels and things. Yeah, like I have a Jauna yogurt and I know that the label is blue, so that's how I pick my yogurt out. But yeah, it's getting better. Yeah, the vision is quite stagnant now. It hasn't had any improvement in the last couple of months. Yeah, I've pretty much been told that this is how it will be. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just grateful that I do have a little bit of vision. So that's about it. I'm looking forward to you all joining along my journey to independence and interacting with me throughout it all. Yeah, I hope you enjoy the blog, and we'll catch you soon.